Hello everybody, this is Shaman here and going to be reacting to Sora vs. Pit. So let's get started.
If the fate of the universe is at stake, the last person you should trust to save it is a naive teenager with magical weapons they don't understand. But everybody does it anyway.
Like Sora, the Keyblade-wielding savior of Kingdom Hearts.
And Pit, the angel warrior from Kid Icarus.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out
who will win a death battle.
Once upon a time,
I kind of wish it
there
was
a
Link
small
and
child
Zelda, but
full of promise,
oh well.
named Sora.
And he lived on the one and only Destiny Island. Sora and his friends Riku and Kairi grew up honing their athletic skills by playing sports with Final Fantasy characters.
To be honest,
who don't
I
judge
know
Sora's
about the
fashion
Kingdom Hearts
choices.
series,
Wait a minute.
but I
What
never
the hell
played
are Final
any of the
Fantasy
games.
characters doing there?
A hint of things to come. For the longest time, the residents of Destiny Island lived a peaceful life, but it wasn't long until a soulless embodiment of evil would invade the island.
The Heartless?
Was the Heartless.
But the arrival of these creepy crawlers wasn't the only surprise. Alongside the darkness came light in the form of a Keyblade, which is the key to fixing everything. Super subtle.
This Keyblade in particular was known as the Kingdom Key, and was drawn to Sora thanks to his pure heart. With the Kingdom Key, Sora had the means to combat the Heartless.
By unlocking doors?
Well, yes, the Keyblade can get past almost any lock out there. But despite not having a long, sharp edge, it's a surprisingly deadly sword.
It's a key, it's a sword, and it's also a wand. Sora can use it to cast all sorts of magic spells like a wizard. He can even shoot a laser beam all the way to the moon.
Unfortunately, despite his newfound weapon, the Heartless were overwhelming. The darkness washed over Destiny Island, and just like that, it was gone.
But thanks to cosmic reasons, Sora wound up face to face with Goofy and Donald Duck. Yep, he ended up in the most magical place on Earth, Disney.
If you're confused, don't worry. You are not hallucinating. Somehow, in some way, this impossibility exists. Turns out, while Goofy and Donald have been lovable cartoons for decades, they're also world-hopping warriors.
Oh my god, this is the best thing ever!
From then on, Sora teamed up with his new friends to lock the doors to the Hearts of Worlds, saving them from the Heartless grip.
And he wasn't even old enough to get a driver's license.
While Sora may not have been strong enough to save Destiny
I'm
Island,
not gonna lie, if I had anybody
perfect
with
for
me,
beating
it would
back the
not be
darkness.
Donald
Including
Goofy.
some genuine
I would probably
ass-kicking
get like
magic,
Cloud,
like shooting fireballs,
Cloud.
freezing baddies with blizzards, smiting with lightning, and more.
He can reflect projectiles, manipulate
I
time,
think- I
magnetize
wanna say
objects,
his
and even
name
alter gravity.
He's got a bunch of other magic attacks, but my favorite is
Leo.
Ragnarok, which fires a bunch of homing energy beams. And I guess he's got some magic abilities that don't involve beating monsters up, which I think is pretty lame, but Wiz insists we talk about it.
Thanks to the Kingdom Key sword, he can use spells which remove negative effects, including curing his own wounds. He can also glide like Peter Pan and teleport like Figment.
I still don't know if we should call it a sword, but Sora can make it even better with keychains. They can
But
even
hey,
transform
it's
the whole
just as
Keyblade
effective
into
as
more
so
powerful
why
versions
not?
with way more badass names, like Oathkeeper.
With all these abilities, Sora battled the Heartless and took the fight to the man who discovered them, Xehanort. He even defeated Xehanort's Heartless and his nobody.
Oh, that's kind of harsh, Wiz. Why are you calling him a nobody? He's definitely somebody.
No, see, a nobody is a somebody without a heart, but a Heartless isn't a somebody or a nobody, though they may have been a somebody filled with anger, like Scar from The Lion King.
Well, I'm a somebody that's really, really confused.
But to
Yeah,
save all worlds,
it's
Sora
a
found he
tangled
had to
web
be
of
insanely strong, fast,
shit.
and tough.
He's speedy enough to run up a building and quick enough to dodge magic lightning.
Not just magic lightning, real legitimate lightning from the sky, a feat which could only take mere milliseconds.
Sora put all that speed to good use once by perfectly
Yeah,
blocking
that-
hundreds of
that was
lasers
fucking
from
cool.
damn near every angle in just a few seconds. So it's safe to say he's no slouch.
As for his strength, not only has he cut through giant building-like structures with ease, he's launched them as projectiles. Though gravity is in flux here, a building this size normally weighs around 100,000 pounds.
He's held back two of Cerberus's heads and went toe-to-toe with Hercules. You know, the demigod who threw a giant rock monster into space?
Although this Titan's shape is too inconsistent to scale, by treating him as a series of cones made of granite, we can estimate his weight as over 1,600 tons.
That's like throwing 200 T-Rexes into the sky. So, yeah, Herc is really, really strong. And Sora can take a hit from him. No problem.
Honestly, Sora's ability to take a hit might be one of his strongest characteristics. He's survived the jaws of Cerberus, ancient Chinese dragons, being shot by a musket, and, hell, the fires of Hades.
But he isn't without his downfalls. While he's strong in his own right, he relies a lot on his friends. Like, all the goddamn time.
Yep.
He can't even enter his fancy drive forms, which boost his power and give him an extra Keyblade, without help from Goofy and Donald. So, in a broad scope, he's fairly limited on his own.
No big deal, though. Luckily for Sora, most locks only need one key.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure if that was profound, or just stupid.
You're stupid.
The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
Let us
too
return
happy for
to
my
the distant past, to an age long ago, when gods and man lived together in harmony.
How long ago was this?
25 years ago.
What?
Anyway, the kingdom of Angel Land was ruled by two goddesses. Palutena, the goddess of light, and Medusa, the goddess of darkness.
Who pretty much treated everyone like crap by turning people into statues and destroying their crops.
My cabbages!
But hey, what'd you expect from a being who holds the title Goddess of Darkness? She's just doing her job.
Angered by these misdeeds, Palutena transformed Medusa into an ugly, one-eyed, parcel-tongued monster and banished her to the dark underworld.
Well,
Talk
she
about
was the
throwing
goddess of
shade.
darkness.
Long story short, Medusa waged war with Palutena, who summoned the greatest hero Angel Land has ever known. Hit!
My arrows will stop that
Oh my-
because Maximus.
The
No,
fuck?
definitely not that one.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, much
Hang
better,
on.
much better.
Greatest hero ever? More like his mom needs to drop him off at elementary school.
Don't let looks fool you. Pitt may seem young, but he is the captain of the Icarus Army, keepers of the peace and personal guards to Lady Palutena herself.
Wait, you're telling me this Cupid-looking kid is the captain of an army?
Yep.
Well, at least he can fly with those wings. Alright, that's pretty cool.
Nah, really.
Actually, he can't.
What? Look, he's flying right there.
Well, Pitt may have superhuman
Nah,
abilities,
but
but he
not
can't actually
Palutena.
fly on
Hell,
his
all
own.
he can do is just
Thankfully,
fucking
Palutena
go on.
regularly grants him
Or
mystic
not fly
wings, which
on.
do allow flight, though they can only exist for up to 5 minutes. After that, they burst into flame, sending Pitt careening to a horrible end.
Holy shit. So the captain of an angel army doesn't have his own working angel wings. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's a little strange, but don't try to bring it up. He's a bit touchy on the subject.
Anyway,
Really
Pitt managed
touchy.
to defeat Medusa, and everyone lived happily ever after. Just kidding, Medusa came back 25 years later, looking better than ever, by the way. And this time, Hades came along to mess things up, too.
As captain of the
That's
Icarus
Nintendo
Army,
villain
Pitt
ever.
has some extensive training under his belt. How else would all these soldiers save Palutena from a sudden invasion of vegetables?
Right. But what's a soldier
Forgot
without his
that
weapons?
you-
Pitt's got a huge arsenal of weaponry.
He's well known for his archery skills and shows it off with his trusty weapon of choice, the Palutena bow.
This bow uses awesome laser arrows that can actually be guided by Pitt. And if his enemies get close, Pitt can split the bow into 2 short blades for quick, deadly slices. Now that's a practical weapon.
What do you call
He
that?
is highly skilled with several classes of
A
weapons. His
sword?
arsenal has been
A
imbued with the
sword?
strength and power of the
A-
gods, making
a
humans
sword?
incapable of wielding them.
These range from orbitars, like floaty shoulder cannons that can also block attacks, to blades, cannons, claws, hammers, staves, clubs, and weaponized tattoos. Ah, I wish my tattoo was a weapon.
Oh, that.
Anyway, all these weapons were forged by Mentos, the god of forge.
Dintos.
Dintos, the fresh maker. And the guy who also crafted Pitt's ultimate weapons, the 3 sacred treasures.
Hidden away in 3 sealed caskets,
Yeah, I
the
think
sacred treasures consist
Pitt
of Angel
might
Land's
win this.
mightiest weapons, which can only be used by the most heroic and worthy of heroes.
The mirror shield reflects projectiles. The wings of Pegasus give Pitt unrestricted flight and improved speed. And the Arrow of Light is the ultimate weapon of the gods that can murder basically anything.
The Arrow of Light is absolutely the deadliest weapon in Pitt's arsenal, and increases in power based on Pitt's own health and strength. And when all three treasures come together, Pitt is granted the legendary Silver Armor.
You tapping into Mustache Boo's whiz? That's not silver, it's gold.
Well, colors are different in heaven, I guess.
Weird. Well, Pitt's learned several abilities throughout his adventures, like healing, dropping mines, and making his arrows invisible. And all of his skills came in handy. Not only did he defeat Medusa, but he's taken on alien pirates, a space kraken, and the god of death, Thanatos.
At one point when Thanatos attacked a village, he launched a large boulder which Pitt obliterated so thoroughly it was completely pulverized in mid-air.
Wait a minute. How are those Trojan horse Star Wars walkie thingies not tipping over?
Focus, Boomstick. Pulverization is
Yeah,
defined
you
as reducing
should
an object to
tip over.
dust, which certainly applies here. To determine the force necessary to do so, we first need the size of that boulder. For that, we'll compare the boulder to those pillars.
Oh, here comes the math. Strap on your pocket
Sorry.
protectors, nerds.
Thanatos, when standing near to Pitt, appears to be about 11 feet 6 inches tall. By comparing his height to the pillars, we've determined them to be 18 feet tall. By comparing that to the boulder, it's clear it has a diameter of 115 inches. To pulverize a stone this large, Pitt's strike must have outputted energy equal to nearly 1,600 pounds of TNT.
Damn, little angel kid can dish it out.
Pitt's also incredibly quick. He was able to maneuver, react, and fly from the top of these clouds to the lunar sanctum in less than 40 seconds. Despite looking like one, that's no moon. It's a space station, orbiting the Earth at a similar altitude to the International Space Station. The average distance from the ISS to the highest cloud layers is about 242 miles, meaning Pitt must have flown around 21,600 miles per hour.
That's Mach 28. Suck it, Starman.
Not only that, Pitt dodged a laser which covered this distance in a fraction of a second, most likely moving a little over 90 million miles per hour.
Oh my god, that not moon thing really is the Death Star.
With Pitt's superhuman
Yeah.
durability,
Jesus
he's tanked
Christ.
hits from gods and taken falls that would turn any normal man into,
An angel?
well, a dead man, yes. In his final duel with Hades, the god of the underworld, Pitt took a devastating blow that sent him plummeting at least 2,000 feet. Given Pitt's weight, the impact of that fall would be over 8 tons of force.
And he was fine. This Hades guy can cut through giant diamond spires, so a hit from him could be as powerful as nearly 30 tons of TNT.
Of course, while Pitt may be formidable, he's not perfect. He has been tricked into losing fights multiple times, and often relies on assistance from his godly allies.
Yeah, but not as much
But
as
this
Sora.
kick-ass angel isn't afraid to charge headfirst into a fight, even with his wings on fire.
In the name of the goddess Palutena, defender of all that is good, those who hide in the darkness will be made to face the light.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, all this talk about slicing vegetables has got me craving some heavenly food.
And hold on a minute. I do not need to be.
Yahweh! Go get him, pal!
That voice.
What he said?
So, whose rear am I kicking this time?
There we go.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Come on. Yeah.
Take this! Fire! Whoa! Ha! I've seen candles that are scarier than you. Let's take this to the next level!
Man, he's taking a beating.
Whoa! You can teleport? Mind blown! Let's see what you think of this! Ah! Whoa! Oh, shit! Ah!
Yo, I keep thinking this is one man made it. Oh.
Stop!
Wait, what? I don't burn that one. Oh man, I'm not even sure who's gonna win anymore.
Time to end this! You said it!
Attaboy, Sora!
KO! Youch! That's one way to fly too close to the
How?
Sora. Son, Pit may have had the advantage in flight and experience, but he couldn't beat Sora's strength, toughness, and speed.
Pit may have dodged a laser moving 90 million miles per hour, but Sora's reaction speed was quick enough to dodge natural lightning. A lightning bolt's return stroke, which constitutes the bright flash, moves at around 220 million miles per hour, over twice as fast as Pit's.
That, combined with his teleporting and
Which
time
one,
manipulation powers, meant Sora was just too quick for Pit to land very many big hits. Plus, when Sora shot that Keyblade beam to the moon, it took 1 second flat.
That's 1.28 times the speed of light, much faster than anything Pit's reacted to before. Of course, Pit did have enough weapons to keep Sora busy, but Sora's impressive and wide-ranging magical arsenal provided multiple counters for pretty much anything Pit threw at him, including superior healing techniques.
Hey, remember that building Sora cut through? Slicing it up like Swiss cheese was impressive enough, but this building was completely made of stone from top to bottom, and Sora cut through 7 at once.
These buildings may have been composed of a modest stone like granite, which has a minimum shearing strength of 14 megapascals. In comparison to Sora's height, each building was about 23 feet tall. By measuring Sora's largest slash and the distance cut through all 7 buildings, we can determine Sora's striking energy to equal, at minimum, 78 tons of TNT.
That's way more than Pit's boulder pulverizing feat. No wonder this guy beat Herc.
Speaking of which, let's compare some of the strongest beings Sora and Pit have taken hits from. The amount of energy needed for Hercules to throw that rock titan into space had to have been around 24 megatons of TNT, whereas Hades' strikes were equivalent to only 30 tons at best.
So Pit had never survived anything close to Sora's strongest attacks. Just by numbers alone, Sora's strength, speed, and durability just outclassed Pit. And the Keyblade by itself had a way more impressive track record than any of Pit's weapons. You might say it was the key to this fight. And when we pit them together, one of them was bound to be a Sora loser.
The winner is Sora.
Well, that was. I would say this. The fight didn't really interest me all that much. I was kind of losing my interest at the battle continue. But then, at the very last second, when I thought Pip was going to win, no, it was Sora. And, man, I gotta say, the fight was okay. And I'll see you guys next time, I guess.